Alright guys, welcome back to Crypto once again. So we are going to be taking a look at Ethereum, Bitcoin and a few comments which were there on the previous video, right? So let's take a look at this. So Pradeep Negi asks, do you think it's a good idea to convert Ethereum into other altcoins? If so, which one would you like to suggest? Yes, so we are going to be addressing this one in this entire video, and well, closing in on 750 subscribers. Why not? Yep. Alright guys, so hit that subscribe button as well, right? Because come on guys, you have to do it. I think 34% of the people who are watching the content coming from this channel are not subscribed. Now that's crazy. Alright, so same your cake says Solana summer. Let's go. Yep, it's Solana summer. It's the summertime for cheap DeFi alternatives, right? And which is going on. So alright, so let's try to take a look at this one right here into the chart. So essentially what used to happen back in the good old days is that okay, so it's only Binance which allows you to trade against Ethereum, right? Essentially, yes, there are a lot of other exchanges as well, but in terms of the liquidity, I would essentially want to trade my Ethereum against other altcoins on Binance itself, because Binance has a separate tab for all the altcoins which are against Ethereum, for that matter, right? So essentially, what do you want to be doing if you want to be shifting away from Ethereum, for that matter? Structure, price action structure, maybe some divergence, or maybe the moving average posture as well. So in this example right here, we have graph token against Ethereum, for that matter. You can see that the bottom side has been diverging ever since this point right here. All right, I guess ever since this price point right here, we have been diverging again and again and again, guys. This one was a bullish divergence, and then this one was back again, another bullish divergence. Well, to be honest, this was also a bullish divergence, and yes, this point and this point was back again a bullish divergence. So we have multiple bullish divergences happening out of GRT against Ethereum itself. So what I would be wanting to look at, if I want to be jumping into this trade for another explosion to the upside, well, not another, but yeah, finally an explosion to the upside, would be the fact that you want to be trending above the 100 simple moving average. As you can see right here, this is the only resistance before we start trending all the way towards the 200 simple itself to the upside. Now potentially we do have a good trade against Ethereum itself, which is on GRT for a 100% move to the upside to the T right here. So this is how you try to scout, this is how you try to hunt for altcoins which are essentially looking strong against Ethereum as well, right? So for that matter, this one is looking nice. The bottom side is diverging, and one more thing, guys, you want this you want this daily RSI to start trending above the 60 reads as well. So once that happens, I guess it's going to be a no-brainer that most likely you're going to be pulling all the way towards the 200 simple itself for a potential retest of these levels, and then maybe we can, I don't know, maybe we can keep rolling to the upside. And is that, yes, this one is aligning with 236 extension, 0.236 extension, and once we start taking this one to the upside, you will be headed all the way towards 0.382. okay, so what else do we have? We have BNB against Ethereum as well, because that is another hedge against expensive DeFi. Ethereum is expensive DeFi, rest everything is not that expensive, for that matter. So you can see right here that the 200 simple is simply postured to the upside. Now this is strengthful right here, but we got a little bit of problem for this pair because we have a death cross right here. Now essentially I would, yes, if I were to be trading an asset from a completely moving average perspective, yes, I would not want to be entering into this particular pair right here against Ethereum, right? Because this one has a bearish cross which happened during the first week of August itself, and this one is strengthening to the downside. Although essentially the overall price action is not going to be that weak towards the downside, because you can see the posture of the 200 simple moving average. The macro moving average is quite strengthful, right? And it would take a lot of things for this one to start cutting to the downside. So until this moving average is posture to the upside and BNB against BTC is looking fine, maybe we can have a good looking trade for BNB against Ethereum as well for about a 10% move to the upside. Or if we start taking this one again to the upside, you will be dealing with these levels on BNB against Ethereum. Essentially 0.16 Ethereum per BNB is what your target is going to be looking like if we start trending above these price points right here. So essentially the overall trend for BNB against Ethereum is pretty neat looking trend, right? So guys, refer to the video that I posted, I guess a couple of months ago, about the long-term analysis on BNB. I guess I do talk about BNB against Ethereum as well in that video, because yes, if you want to be talking about any asset and its long-term price action behavior, you have to take a look at that asset from every single liquidity point of view, right? So BNB Ethereum is also a liquidity point of liquidity point, because this is a pair which is trading on Binance, and a lot of market participants are, yes, they are looking at this pair as well down the line. So do we have anything else to talk about in terms of the Ethereum pair itself? I guess it's going to be ADA against Ethereum. Let's take a look at that real quick. I got no idea what these assets are. All right, so this one is looking fine. This one is looking completely fine. The posture on the daily time frame is fine, guys. Essentially, the 200 simple is inclined to the upside with a strong momentum, and we don't have any bearish cross on the daily time frame right here. And for that matter, most likely this one is going to be sliding to the upside. This one most likely curls to the upside once again, and well, the price action suggests that we could be formulating a base right here on these levels, and the trend could potentially keep on continuing to the upside, because the moving average, the macro moving average on the daily time frame itself is looking completely fine on ADA against Ethereum. And well, I don't really know the exact date of when the smart contracts are going to be pushed into the ADA blockchain itself, but yes, smart contracts are coming into Cardano, and you know my opinion on ADA, guys. I mean, essentially Cardano is full of promises, and this one is evaluated at crazy numbers, right? Whereas we do have products like Solana, we have BNB, we have essentially there are so many crazy DeFi alternatives out there with smart contracts functionality as well. But Cardano, on the other hand, essentially is full of promises, guys, and still this one keeps on trending to the upside. Now this this calls for a little concern, or maybe a fact that yes, there is some amount of legitimate institutional money behind Cardano itself. And guys, institutional money is your giant corporations or something like that. It's not going to be your big YouTubers or something like that. It's going to be your corporations who have the capacity to push in billions of dollars into one single crypto asset. It's not going to be your YouTubers or any guy that you see on crypto Twitter as well, for that matter, guys. Crypto Twitter, holy crap. If you are feeling manipulated in life, try deleting Twitter, for that matter. I think that's going to help you for some time. Now, all right, now that's poor marketing on my behalf as well, because I keep on promoting my channel, keep on promoting my Twitter account on this channel as well. But guys, essentially filter out the accounts that you follow on Twitter, right? Essentially don't try to follow the shills, the people who are shilling their bags or positions or something like that. It's complete unnecessary information that your brain, I don't think that you have to take it. I just don't feel that you have to take it. If you want to be developing yourself as a trader, and if you want to be surviving in the market for the long haul, I don't think that you should get manipulated by all those people who are shilling their positions on Twitter, for that matter, right? Most of them are fake. Most of them are fake, because I really doubt somebody's going to be tweeting about their $20 million long position in the market, I guess. Alright, guys, with that said, we have Ethereum pairs done, for that matter, and this is how you scout. You look for the macro moving averages and the small time frame analysis as well, and if everything is looking fine against Ethereum, maybe it's a good choice to flip your Ethereum into any other altcoin, for that matter. Okay, so with that said, let's take a look at Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin on the 3-day time frame right here, the macro is still under trending motion. Now, essentially the previous candle closure was below the lower side, below the upper side Bollinger Band right here, but this is a posture which I like, guys. Now, you want to just for a little brief history right here, you can see as the exponential crosses above the middle Bollinger Band itself, that is when your good trends emerge on Bitcoin USD itself, right? So you can see the posture has been under formulation ever since this one right here. You had this you had this bullish cross between the mid Bollinger Band and the 21 exponential itself, and that is when you kind of formulated a bottom, and you're still posturing to the upside. You're still completely fine. Most of the crosses are looking completely fine. And guys, yes, these things will work in the small time frames as well. If you see the Bollinger Band, if you see the 21 exponential crossed over the middle Bollinger Band itself, yes, that's a bullish posture, guys. That's a bullish posture. Now, it's a pretty contradictory thing as well, because the middle Bollinger Band is your 20 simple moving average. So we don't have, to be honest with you, we don't have much technical backing into this particular indicator right here. But what I've noticed particularly is that this one works like a charm for Bitcoin, right? You can see right here, as soon as you had that bullish cross between the middle Bollinger Band and the 21 exponential, you had a free floating price action movement all the way towards the upside. Now, Bitcoin is postured to the upside with all the crosses completely looking fine, and the 3-day, the macro is looking completely fine as well, right? Okay, so the daily time frame right here is below the upper side Bollinger Band, and essentially when you want to see your exponential trends to the upside, something like this right here, this one is essentially always going to be alongside the upper side Bollinger Band itself, right? You can see how the candles are constantly closing above the upper side Bollinger Band, and you keep on rolling to the upside after some consolidation. Yes, you keep on rolling back again to the upside. Okay, so just to talk about that previous middle Bollinger Band and the 21 exponential crossover right here on the daily time frame, for this piece of price action right here on the daily time frame, we are taking a look at the bearish cross. Essentially, this is not a death sentence. I don't think that Bitcoin goes to zero from this price point right here, but I do feel that the 3-day time frame is going to be way more significant than the daily itself. So for me personally, I don't base my analysis on the daily time frame for this kind of crossover, right? It's only going to be weekly, or it is going to be the half weekly time frame, essentially the 3-day time frame itself. I'm not going to be jumping into daily time frame, and I'm talking about these crossovers to the upside and the downside. It's going to just confuse you guys. Remember, the greater your time frame, the better your analysis is going to be. Well, your analysis is going to be more accurate, way more accurate, if you keep on changing the time frame. If you talk about higher time frames, yes, analysis is going to be better than the small time frames itself. Okay, so for that matter, let's take a look at the extreme small time frames. The 4-hour time frame itself bouncing against the lower side Bollinger Band right here. Bitcoin doing fine on these levels, essentially without any. Okay. that would have been a complete understatement to talk about the fact that how we have crazy amount of divergence right here. Yes, we do have bearish divergence under formulation of these levels right here, and Bitcoin is not in an immediate trend to the upside because the 4-hour RSI is situated below the 60 itself. As you can see right here, most of the good looking trends happen above the 60 on the 4-hour as well, but we are not above that one for that matter as of now. Although we can talk about how the 4-hour has started creating hidden bullish divergence coming from the bottom itself, and that could push the price action all the way towards maybe the higher side of this entire range. It's going to be 50,000 flat. Now essentially, has Bitcoin come across the 618 or not? Let's try to find that out, and for that matter as well real quick. 618, yep. Ethereum, Bitcoin, yes, similar piece of price action, just stalling at the 618. But guys, to be honest with you, if you wanted to revert from the 600 extension, I mean, you would not be reaccumulating onto these levels, right? But essentially on the 618, we're not getting rejected, we are getting reaccumulated between this entire zone right here, standing between the 44k and $48,000 to the upside. Now this is a huge zone, a 10% zone on Bitcoin itself, but getting reaccumulated below the 618 is a good sign, guys. Remember, it's a good sign. And until the lower side Bollinger Band is postured like this and everything is fine on the daily and the 3-day as well, most likely we keep on pulling to the upside. And Bitcoin, guys, remember, if Bitcoin even sneezes by I guess 1 or 2%, your altcoins are gonna go down by maybe 10 to 15%. This is how Bitcoin dependent crypto assets are. Essentially, that's just crazy, but this is how market works, right? And this is what we have to be vigilant about. All right, so with that said, let's take a look at Ethereum USD real quick and what's happening on these levels. Okay, so Ethereum similarly getting reaccumulated below the 600 itself. It's a good sign, guys. It's a good thing, to be honest with you. I mean, this price action is looking completely fine as of now, but I would be vigilant on Ethereum if we start taking these levels to the downside, guys. Okay, now this is 3rd day in a row where I'm talking about $3,000 levels on Ethereum being your potential support and your trend controller as well. Now guys, remember, the more time we spend right here and the more time it takes for Ethereum to actually go to the upside, essentially that would start formulating a resistance on these levels, and that would mean that the price action could potentially start retesting the 3,000 zones back again. And if you just fail to hold $3,000 levels on Ethereum itself, watch most of the altcoin market just simply flush to the downside without any hiccup, right? But until then, until this price action is looking like this, setting in higher highs again and again, coming from the downside itself, higher lows again and again, coming from the bottom side of the Bollinger Band itself on the 4-hour time frame, yes, Ethereum is looking completely fine, and most of the crypto assets are looking completely fine as well. Alright guys, with that said, let's wind this market update right here. Let me know your favorite shitcoins down in the comments below so that we can take a look at that as well in the next video coming tomorrow, most probably. And I'm gonna catch all of you tomorrow. Bye for now.